Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it's a bro. Bro, I'm trying to do this like behind the bookshelf vibe, bro.
Dude, do you read all those books? Did you read those books?
No, I do. I'm not Airbnb. I'm subleasing my friend's apartment in Los Feliz.
Okay, and they got books, and
So
you're like, make me look smart, man.
yeah, so if someone's like, bro, did you? Nope, none of it.
I
But it's
mean,
kind of a vibe, right?
you got the cardigan, you got the self-help books, you got
Are they
that's all.
self-help? I don't even.
No, I don't know. I can't see it that far. So check this out. I just looked this up. I don't know what this is from. This is Joe Ayoub, session basis. This is for Sound Better. I don't even know what that is. And what they have on their website is Los Angeles-based musician, writer, producer, arranger, and musical director with electric and acoustic bass being the main instruments. Joe has played with American Idol House Band, Miley Cyrus, Melissa Etheridge, Enrique Iglesias, Leonard Cohen, Shakira, Nick Acosta, Liz Phair, Billy Currington, Sarah Bareilles, and Scary Pockets. Does
Oh
that
my
sound
god!
accurate?
Great.
I feel like you're missing a big one in there too, right? What's your recent show that you've been on, right?
American Idol, Kelly Clarkson show. Yeah, that's
Kelly
old.
Clarkson.
Oh, you don't use.
Wow.
You haven't done Sound Better?
No, I don't even know what that is, dude.
Oh, it's basically it is. That's funny. That's old, and
It's the number one. It was the top of the feed, bro.
that's old and slightly embarrassing because I feel like it was a thing when I moved to LA that you always say you're a producer and all the thing. You know what I mean?
MD. Yeah, I'm a producer.
But I don't know it must have been an old one that I just copy and pasted for Sound Better, which is you just do tracks online
That is what
through that portal and send stuff back and forth, and people hire you on there.
That's cool.
That's funny that, man, internet's a wild place. I should probably clean that up and have something else come up first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's definitely doesn't make you look bad. So dude, let's get into it. So
Okay.
where are you originally from? I'm gonna guess because of our friend Jamar Gomez always used to say Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Are you from Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids, yes.
Nice, dude.
You going back to the rabbits?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so I was born in Illinois and grew up from about 5 or 6 years old in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So that's like my home.
Sure.
That's where and then went to high school there, went to college nearby in Kalamazoo, Michigan, at Western Michigan University. And then probably about a couple years after college is when I moved to LA.
Nice. So when did you start playing bass? Was bass always your first instrument?
Bass started in middle school.
Nice.
No, the story goes that I wanted to play drums.
Yep.
I kept getting blocked at every point. Like I wanted to play drums in elementary school, and they were like, "Too many drummers. Here's a viola." Like, great. Wasn't that into it. And then I wanted to play drums when my brother started playing guitar, but we had this drummer at church who played drums. So he's like, "Look, if you play bass, we can immediately start a band." So I was like, deal. But I really took to it. Like he showed me how to he was a Suzuki kid. So his ears were on. Do you know about Suzuki?
No, I don't.
It's a learning method. It's a musical pedagogy, I guess. I don't method that that teaches you to ears first. So that it's a lot of playing things, singing them back, and just you learn how to pick things out. So his ears were crazy good when we were young. And then he taught me how to do that. So when I started playing bass, figuring out bass lines, he kind of just showed me how to just learn it by ear, pick it out. And
that's awesome. I might slightly be aware. So it's not I guess you can't really teach perfect pitch, right? It's just basically hardcore ear training is what it is.
Yeah. It's hardcore ear training and not sort of worrying about it's I don't know, I guess the normal methods are sort of like you're learning what things sound like, and then you're seeing them on a page, and you're learning how to read the rhythms. This was
Mm-hmm.
just focusing on ears at a really young age, which
Dude, so good.
a lot of people
So
say,
good.
we kinda say too that it sort of maybe slows down the reading process
Yeah.
because we could always figure things out by ear before
Yes.
much quicker than we could read them down. So,
Yeah.
we had to put our time in reading
Yeah.
too to
I
sort of, like,
mean,
make up that difference.
I'm really into that though because it's I mean, music is something that you hear. So you should learn by the way things sound because so many people will want to learn something and they go, "Oh, I'm gonna go find that music," and they just play it right and they learn it off a page and they'll
Yeah.
come and play it and you go, "Well, that doesn't sound the same," and they're like, "Well, but I read it correctly," and it's like, "Well, that then you read the wrong thing." Right?
Oh, right, yeah.
You're not just using your ears, you know? Um, I'm into that for sure. Just learning by ear. So this is middle school. So you're maybe what, like 12 or
Yeah, 12,
13 or so?
13. I bought
Yep.
my parents wouldn't buy me a bass. They said, "You if you want it, save up for it." So I saved up maybe, like, half the year. It was 125 bucks, Hondo Precision.
Nice.
Can't find it. I sold it, and I've run
Yeah.
back, and I can't find it. I put EMGs in that bad boy. It was I wish I could find it. But,
Yeah.
yeah, got it. Um, got a l I was playing through my Sony stereo. My brother
Whoa.
showed me how to take a 1/4 inch, put a 1/8 inch adapter on it, and plug into the
Mm-hmm.
stereo in the aux, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you could so I was doing
That's
that,
sick.
and then our cousins from Texas came to visit, like, older cousins, and they were
Yeah.
like, "You don't have an amp?" So they took me down to a pawn shop and bought me this old Sears amp, which was really awesome. I thought it
Oh,
was
that's
the
nice.
greatest day ever. And then, yeah, we were just on our way
There it is. So
doing
what
what
was
we were
like when you were that age, what was like your jams, your bass players or guys or girls that got you excited
Duff
about playing?
McKagan's massive, Guns N' Roses, massive.
Yeah. Nice.
There my mom had these old records. She had this old Diana Ross record with the Jackson 5 on it. That was huge for me.
Nice.
Um, I don't know who actually played on Wilton Felder, maybe? I don't know who played on that particular record, but she also
Mm,
had the Fifth Dimension record with Joe Osborne playing. That blew my mind. That was like my first like, "Whoa, he's just
nice.
ripping."
Yeah.
That's a massive sort of moment for me in my growth. But yeah, musically, seventh grade was Nirvana, Nevermind. So I always say like
Mhm.
it was off to the races. They came out, so it was still kind of like I was way into Guns N' Roses, Metallica. It was that world in middle school, and then when Nirvana came out, it was like just bands. You know what I
That's
mean?
so
Bands
cool.
on
Yeah.
bands on bands on bands. It was just
Yep.
crazy. Every band came out. I loved them all. Got
Yeah.
into all the old stuff, but then all these new bands that were coming out. And
Yeah.
my brother had a more sort of uh older taste in music. So I got like my like Beatles, uh Simon and Garfunkel, Billy Joel,
Mhm.
Elton John, all the classic, and then later jazz. Like he was way into Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Harry Connick Jr., and then
Cool.
instrumental jazz. So I got all my sort of like that stuff from him, but then
Yeah.
all my peers, like friends that I played in bands with, that's where I was listening to everything that was on the
Yeah.
radio, Soundgarden, Nirvana,
For sure. So
Blind
was
Melon.
your brother older?
He's a year and a yeah, he was a year and a half older in age, but, only a grade older.
Oh, nice.
But
Cool,
he
man.
was
Does he
never into I went playing with him, we were, like, gigging. We were, like,
Yeah.
playing, you know, classics and gigging. My band friends, we were just trying to book a show for our band that was, like,
Yeah.
or whatever, metal or so it was
That's
kind of 2 different worlds that I was growing with at the same time.
Yeah, so there was music in your family. Your brother was played music too? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
our
saying? Yeah.
mom loved music and always wanted her kids to be into music, so she got us into piano early. I took piano
Mhm.
early as well, but didn't take to it. He
Yeah.
took to it, and then when it kinda came back around as something that was my choice, that's when it was like, "Alright, I wanna play piano, I wanna play guitar and
Yeah.
bass and do all these and drums and get in
That
that."
tends that's I can relate to that because my family was the same. My brother and sister both. It was like piano and piano recitals, and then it was time like, okay, Jeff, you're like it was. We were young. It was like 6 years old or whatever. I was kindergarten. I remember, and it's like take piano lessons. I was not into it. I was like, I want to play drums. I want to play drums, and so they put me in drum lessons. But then I guess I just realized I was so young. I wasn't into the lessons at that young of an age. So then I just kind of went away from it until I finally found guitar later. But yeah, kind of it's always piano, right? It's I do the same with my kids too, like cuz any kid can walk up and go donk on a piano and start making noise. That's a good entry to music, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
totally.
yeah.
And there's always
Cool.
I mean, back then, there was always a piano in somebody's house, so it was always
Mhm.
a thing where it was just available
Definitely.
and,
So,
yeah.
so you're already playing in bands in high school, yeah?
Yeah, for sure,
That's
middle
awesome.
school.
Yeah.
My first
Middle
paying
school.
gig was my brother convinced the choir director he was a freshman in high school, and they needed a bass player for Grease, the musical.
Nice.
So, they were like, "My brother plays bass," of course, like, not prepared for this at all, but I they're like, "Okay." So I got the gig and I panicked. I was like, "I don't know how to read this score. Like, what is this?"
Yeah.
So I met with my, um, he was the choir director, Obe Vandertol, Mr. Vandertol, who's like, I still thank him every when we talk online sometimes and stuff. And he just sat down with the book, and it was one of those the Grease book had a lot of the chords written above like, if it was just gonna be me reading the bass lines, I wasn't ready. No way.
Yes. Yeah.
But he showed me how to be like, well, if you're listening to it and you kinda get it in your ear and you see C,
Mhm.
you know you can play a C, you know you can play the 5th on most of those chords, so you can play a
Yeah.
C or a G, and a lot of it is like root fifth stuff. So he kinda
Right.
just showed me how to cheat the book, essentially.
Yeah.
Like for get
That's
as much
cool.
as you can ingested, by listening to it, but to fill in the gaps, this is how you cheat it. Which was like, this is in one probably hour session after school. Back then,
Yeah.
like, he's the sweetest guy. He took me to McDonald's. We were like, "All right, school's out, but we're both hungry. Let's go to McDonald's." Went to the McDonald's drive-through, came back, ate our McDonald's, and he showed me how to do this and changed my life in an
he's
hour.
like, he's like, here's the cheat codes to
Yeah,
music.
and forever I was like and then
Yeah.
it led and then a little bit later, my brother and I met this set of twins, Darren and Dave Matthews, who, we don't keep in good contact with, but, like, we're still friends online and stuff, and they're just
Mhm.
all, like, dear old friends, and they started getting into jazz. So, then I saw a real book for the first time with jazz tunes and chord changes, I was like, "Oh, I know how to cheat this
I
now."
can
Like, it
cheat it.
all exploded, like, that learning
Yeah.
different genres and, like, seeing how they apply to each other was, like, just
That's
huge.
amazing. So,
Yeah.
what is your what's your relationship to like reading like note heads? Were you pretty into it? Like are you pretty solid reader or is it just kind of once you learn the cheat codes you're like, I'm good, like I can get through anything?
I cheated for a long time. I'm decent. I'm pretty good now. I'm pretty good. I
Nice.
mean, I did all the things. I played in orchestras, so you have to read
Mhm.
there.
You have to yeah, you got to do that.
And then I went to jazz school in Kalamazoo, so there was a
Yes.
ton of reading there. But again,
Yeah.
I'd always rush to, um, sort of like use my ear to figure it out first still. I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
feel like that trumps the reading, but I'm pretty
Sure.
deep now. Like, and I sing at church and we're sight reading a lot, which has helped a lot
Yeah.
with my treble clef because, a lot my
Yeah,
bass
you're in.
way better, but my treble clef has gotten way better. American Idol, we do a lot of reading.
Mhm.
For the Kelly Clarkson show, I make the charts. So,
Oh,
they're
cool.
mostly chord charts,
Yeah.
but a
So
lot of
you are this thing was correct. You are a musical director.
No, 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 I'm a chart maker, very different. No, there were a couple gigs, where I sort of, like, helped put the band together back in the and I really was it was I called myself an MD back then when it more meant band leader because there were a couple of,
Yes.
like, artists that I did. I put the band together, we
Yeah.
sort of arranged things, but not what it means now. I should take that down because what it means now is putting it like literally programming an entire show
Sure.
and doing that sort of thing is, like,
Yeah.
not my bag.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
yeah.
it means something completely different, you
Yeah.
know?
It's easy to throw it around though. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
we should
So
snip
you went
that up.
to so yeah, man, I mean, it's so cool that you were exposed to that kind of music at such a young age, like having a school and having your family that's playing. Because a lot of like I went to when I was in high school. This isn't about me, but it was just the music program was not happening, and it's just there wasn't much happening. So I'm sure, like, when were you like, you know what, this music thing is like kind of the thing I want to do. Like, was it
Oh,
super early?
yeah, I mean, I've discussed this before, but it was a perfect storm of me feeling my middle school years were, just a little mm I had this wonderful upbringing, my family was great, I had wonderful elementary school experience, everyone, a melting pot of all sorts of different kids, and we all got along, and then middle school was just this kind of it was just a rough middle school experience. So
Hmm.
um what it forced me to do is sort of, like, get more introverted and,
Yeah.
I was that's the first time I sort of started feeling these insecurities about myself or walking
Yep.
in a room, and that was the point where, like, the music thing which
Stepped
is
in.
probably why I, like, got so into it
Yep.
and was learning from my brother because it was like, "Oh, this is this can be my thing." You know what I mean? This makes me
Absolutely.
feel safe. It did all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
so, I
It's very
think
common, I think,
yeah,
with a
the
lot. I mean, yeah.
no, no, go ahead.
No, I mean, a lot of musicians, myself included, it was definitely for me when everything else around me seemed like chaotic. It was like I can do this thing by myself and just go somewhere and feel like I'm being productive in my own way and just go crazy on it. And you could go there and it would make you, yeah, feel safe, and at the same time you're getting better at something. It's a very common thing, I think, for musicians. There's always a point where you're like, you know what, this thing is my music is my friend right now. This is where I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but,
cool.
well but it has both sides of it too, so it allows you to grow on your own, but also probably the bigger thing for me was that it gives you community right away,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
if I just gotta meet some kids, alright, I gotta somehow prove to them that, like, I'm worthy of their friendship or something. I don't know, whatever I was thinking in
Mm-hmm.
7th grade, but
Sure.
when you meet kids to jam with or play music, it's this immediate connector, which is
Mm-hmm.
probably my guess is it's the same for sports for a lot of people, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do sports. So
Yeah.
all the kids did sports. So I felt sort of
Right.
like a little bit like, all right, I don't do that. I don't speak that language. But then once I'm in a room with a kid who's like playing drums and I'm playing along with them, it's like, oh my, that those sparks fly as far as
Yeah.
like friendship, community. These are my,
That's
folks
true.
that were,
Yep.
let's be in a band. That whole thing was like, and probably amplified times 100 because I was doing it with my brother as well. So
Yeah.
It was like it was our thing together. So
That's
it
so
makes you
awesome.
feel less alone, you know?
Absolutely. And so you're seeing this like at a young age, you're like, man, I think this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Was there a point where like your parents knew you're like, listen, mom, dad, I just want to be a musician. Were they like, awesome? Or was it like,
No, yeah, so I mean, I probably was committed to it before I even bought the bass. I was like, "This is what I wanna do," before I
that's,
even you know what I mean? Probably
yeah, no,
looking out bass lines on my brother's acoustic guitar. I was like, "Yeah,
yep.
found it. This is it. This is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing." Um, they were very supportive. Probably when it turned into, like, uh they had a really good balance. Like,
Nice.
their thing was, "Alright, if you're gonna we really want you." It was that old school mentality. We really want you to go to college. And we don't
Mm-hmm.
care what you study. We just want you to go to college.
Yep.
Because that was the mindset then, that you just have to go to college or you're going to screw up your life or something. It
Yep.
wasn't true, but parents just thought that.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, fine. My mom probably pushed a little more to be like, why don't you do music education or something? If it's just performance, you should have something
Mm-hmm.
is it big to have something to fall back
Fall
on,
back on. Yeah.
but not in a, at that point, you getting some emails over there? Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, it's a gig, you gotta take it. Gig.
You're like, I'm glad we scheduled this, but I mean, come on, man.
No, I'm like, get the gig. I'm here for it.
I'm
Uh,
semi-pro.
yeah.
Yeah.
um, yeah, she was supportive, but also like have something to fall back on. But I wasn't really. I
Yeah.
tried. I like took some business classes. I took some education classes. Took some marketing classes, and I was just like, nah, not into
Yeah.
any of this by that
Right.
point. So I ended up with like a music major and a religions of the world minor. Like,
Interesting. That's
yeah,
cool.
because I was just like, I'm just gonna finish with what I want to finish with and
Yeah.
get out
So
of here.
um so the college you went to, is that it's a regular 4-year college or is it like a music school? Did
It's a
you go
regular 4-year
4
university.
years?
Yep.
You
I
graduated.
I was on the 5-year plan.
There you go. That's cool.
No, good.
Um Yeah, and so when you go all the way through college, and then you kind of start playing, or do you immediately kind of go like, I think I want to like get out? Did you go to LA? What happened after that?
Yeah, so I knew even probably starting in high school, then through college, I knew I could make a living playing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Obvious. We were
yeah.
gigging all the
I
time,
know.
making,
When you kind of like when you see the simplicity of it, that was my thing too when I was 15. I just remember going, "Hey man, I think I'm good enough to play like blues guitar and my buddy plays guitar and we'll start a band and we'll just go play gigs and we can make money. We could
yeah,
survive." Like, and when that clicked, I was like, "It's over. That's it. That's
yeah.
it."
Why would I do
Like
anything else?
yeah,
Yeah,
why would I do anything else?
yeah.
That was my thinking, you know.
I knew I wasn't
So,
gonna get rich, but I was like, "Oh, I can survive off this
yep.
for sure."
Yeah.
Um, and well, the initial thought, even in college, because it was a very, it was like most of the music school kids did the same move. Chicago was about 2 hours away,
Mhm.
so that was the move
Ah, interesting.
because then you could still sort of go home. It wasn't, and I already had some colleagues that were there that could plug me in super quick.
Yeah.
I was gonna go to Chicago. There was, me and a friend of mine, Brett Farkas, we even went and looked at places. It was, we got a place, and then it turned out it fell through, and then my, my my dad had died my last year of college.
Oh,
He
sorry to hear
so
that.
he passed away, and my mom was still getting things sorted, and it just felt like the wrong time to move.
Mhm.
there's a longer story, but we could talk about that another time. But basically, I
Sure.
was like, maybe it's not a good time to move.
Yeah.
So I stayed home for about a year and a half and kind of like decided to just get her situated and get it all figured out. But during that time, and Brett did the same thing. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to move either. I'll move back to Detroit. I can gig there, save some more
Mhm.
money for when we do decide to move. And he was the catalyst of, he was like, we should really look into LA. Like Chicago's
Nice.
cool because he had went and done the Mancini Institute, which was like a summer program for college kids.
Mhm.
Just like blown away and went to the studios and was like, this is a whole different level of scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did he play? What was it?
Guitar.
Guitar. Okay, sorry, cut out for yeah,
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Great guitar player. He still lives here. Um,
Nice.
and yeah, he really put so we went out and visited. We went to Nam, you know. We actually went to
Yep.
Nashville for a visit, Chicago,
Yep.
and LA.
Nice.
And at that point, we were both sort of young and emboldened, and we were like, maybe we should
Let's
just
do it.
do it.
Yeah, and Nashville wasn't quite the Nashville that it is now, right? It was different then, right?
I
Like, cause
love Nash. It was different.
me,
I loved
it's
it.
it. I love Nashville too. I think it's awesome. It's just so popular now that now people just go, yeah, Nashville. Like, let's go to Nashville.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite as big of a deal as like L.A. or New York, right? Like
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah. Maybe not. Our friend moved there, and a great bass player, Tim Marks. So we went to go visit him, and we um, met some people there. And I don't know. I was all for it.
Yeah.
But it did feel a little less like a gigantic move than LA was, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So and I think
Yeah.
I had a pretty clear vision of what I wanted to be side manning right away,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yep.
know? So, it just felt like LA was the move, and we did it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
so
just
probably 2 years after school, I think I was 24, 25,
yep.
20, 23, 24, something like that.
Nice. So you just find a spot, maybe know a few people out there or
We had
nobody
a
or do you
few dancer friends who, were super sweet and let us stay with them for a little bit with all our stuff. We, like, put all our
nice.
stuff in their living room, and we stayed with them for a bit until we found a cheap apartment in Studio City and signed the lease, and he got a gig pretty quick because
Nice.
we had a list of people that we were calling that, "Hey, I'm friends of so and so, just moved to town, would love to take you to lunch, pick your brain."
Yep.
And got he was playing with Solomon Burke
Hmm.
for a while, like, right away, and
Nice.
got plugged
I
in.
I don't know if I know who that is.
I was a
Solomon Burke.
blues legend.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and, so he started touring and we were just sort of I was working an odd job. I was doing, like, telemarketing because I didn't want my savings to run out.
Yep.
Um, but then same, like, I got a tour. We moved in November, and I got a tour in February. I did an audition,
Nice.
didn't get it, but that audition led to another audition. My first audition was the band The Calling.
Nice.
And didn't get it, but it led me to another audition, which was for Liz Phair, and then immediately then, boom, we were on the road. And then, while that was happening, sort of like meeting people in town and doing gigs here and there and, building that world too. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun time and, like,
Yeah.
everything was
That's
new, and, bands were playing everywhere, like,
mm-hmm.
um, and tons of and that's the other thing, there were so many singer-songwriters that, like, "Come I need a band, come play my gig."
Mm-hmm.
And then you would meet all these other musicians from doing their gigs and all the
Yep.
hotel cafe world and, um, Genghis Khan was a venue, Tangier was a venue, the Derby, there's just so many places to play, all the stuff on
Right.
Sunset, and, like, yeah, it
It's
was a
crazy.
really fun time, really fun time.
Yeah, that's awesome. LA is a crazy place because it's amazing that it's the biggest target for all these artists and musicians to go, right? It's in the world, like one of the biggest places, destinations for a musician, and yet it still has this feeling of once you start to know people, it's like everyone kind of knows each other in that little circle. Once you start
Yeah.
meeting, it's wild. It's just crazy. Like how many people are actually there, right? It's
And
just,
I think coming from the Midwest, that's what we were worried about, like, "Oh, we're gonna be so small in this
mm-hmm.
gigantic sea," and then you realize, oh, the community is no, you get
Yeah,
to
yeah.
so many people so quickly, and then, yeah, it really is
And
a
it,
smaller community than you think it would be.
yeah, because if you're cool and you can play and you can hang, people are just like, oh yeah, Joe's cool. Yeah, like I'll hang out with him. I'll bring him on tour. It's like it's awesome.
Totally.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
and so many people were I mean, they did. I mean, we called all these people and they were like, "Yeah, sure, come out to" That's why I always made it a point from that point on. I'm sure you get it all the time too, where people are like, "Oh, my friend's moving out to LA and he's a musician or she's a musician. Will you chat with them?" It's like, "Of course." 'Cause so many
Mm-hmm.
people did that for me, and
Yep.
like opened up worlds to
It's
me.
amazing.
From that, just
Yeah.
being open to be like, "Oh, cool, welcome to town. Oh, yeah, oh, let me set you up with this person. They might need someone next week for a gig."
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
all
it's
that stuff
wild.
unfolded quickly.
Dude, it's crazy. And then like, I mean, once you hit the Liz Fair thing, it was kind of off to the races, right? You just kept
Yeah, it was definitely game changing to have because now I did a gig, there's a name gig
you
behind it.
did a gig. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
and then that is that changes things for sure.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
Uh
because then it's like, oh, you did that one, like you're good. You're kind of immediately in the hat to where it's like, yeah, come do this other one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's an immediate I mean, it's a trust thing too.
it's a
And
trust thing.
if anyone and there were so many great musicians on the Liz gig that if someone knew someone on there, then they had a reference and be like, "Okay, I'll call whoever and be like ask about me, and is
Mm-hmm.
this person cool? Yeah, cool, did the great gig great." And if you're on it for a particular amount of time, all that just sort of, like, answers the questions, "Is this is this a professional person I can call?"
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's not gonna make me look bad. Not gonna make make the artist look bad, and just waste anyone's time for sure.
Yeah, which
Um.
because there's a lot of people who, you know, it took longer to get a gig,
Mm-hmm.
but they were fantastic, have all the great, you
Yep.
know, everything they need to do to be able to do the gig, but sometimes a namesake just sort of helps move it
Yeah.
along.
I mean, it's just how it is. And it's a really good idea too if you're moving somewhere new to move with someone because it almost like uh gives you like a 50% better chance of starting to work because if your roommate starts working, right? Then
Yeah,
it's like, oh, well, he's working and then you start talking to people, oh, my roommate's working and so it's way better to have some, friends around you, right? That are working starting from ground zero at the same time. Um
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, because when I was in LA, I always had roommates and they would get gigs, and I'm like, "Oh, talk to them about this."
When
It's
were
like,
you in LA?
well, I was there from about 2003 to 2010. Um, so I was in Long Beach for a long time.
Okay.
I went to Musicians Institute, finished that up in 2005. And then I was in Hollywood and then moved to Granada Hills until 2012 is when I moved to the Bay Area. So,
Why
yep, yep.
what?
I moved up because I met my wife here.
Uh-huh.
Um, she lived here, and also I started working in a '80s tribute band that was really busy, and it was
Oh
I
yeah, you've
loved
seen that. Yep.
I loved the band, and so I was going back and forth. I met my wife, so my life kind of, and it was a really hard decision because I was like, no, I got to stay in LA because, like, I was like, I need to get like the Katy Perry gig,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so, but I had plenty of work here, and so I moved, and then luckily I just stayed in touch with the right people, and I actually met Eddie Kaipo, our good buddy, and he plugged me into the Enrique
Is
thing,
that
and
how
so
the Enrique connection happened? That's what I thought. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
yeah, which is through the Bay Area, which is I would have never in a million years dreamed I would live in the Bay Area. I was like, no, I'm LA, I'll be LA forever. That's just what I thought. But yeah, so I was there for, a good 10 years, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
But that's
Yeah.
huge to get that gig. Did they just hire you for a gig or did you audition with band? You
Dude,
auditioned with band, right?
it was so random, dude. Yeah, so we might as well just fast forward to that. So that era, I guess, because
For the people who don't
so,
know, like
yes.
you and I have done a handful of Enrique gigs together, but we sort of
Yes.
crossed as I
Yeah.
was doing other things, you were coming in. But we did
I was coming
probably
in, so
10, maybe I don't know, 5.
yeah, maybe we had some good ones. And yeah, this my first introduction. So basically, our buddy Eddie Kaipo was doing monitors for Enrique Iglesias. I knew this. I knew Eddie from working in the Bay Area. He's a Bay Area guy. He called me up and said, "Hey, we need a new guitar player." When Alex Feder was leaving,
Right.
um, and so Feder, episode 1 of this podcast, actually. So he's like, "You want to audition?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So I just sent him a video. I sent, the camp, Enrique Camp, a video, and they liked it, and it kind of moved through the stages of liking it, and like, can you send another video? And they liked it again. And I remember I was just at the gym, like on the treadmill, and Van called me and goes, "Hey man, you got the gig, so like, can you go down to LA and practice with Sean and Alex? And then we're going to Vegas, right?" And this was right before a big tour. So I did, and I meet Alex, I meet Sean, and I knew the songs. It was very last minute. It was like they gave me all the songs like a week before the show, and then added 8 more like the day before the show.
Of
Um,
course.
so I was kind of freaking out. I had never done a really big gig like that. So I go to the gig. I'm a little like, like out of sorts. I'm like, I don't know. So I meet Enrique, and I could tell he's like, who is this guy a little bit? The band was cool. And so we played the gig. Basically, I played 2 gigs. They decided to go a different direction. Van had to call me and say, dude, I'm sorry. We're going with someone else. And so I got hired and fired in the span of like 1 week. And
Not the whole tour was yours?
yeah. Yeah. So
Bummer.
yeah, this was kind of gnarly, but we worked it out, and it was pretty, yeah, it was significant. But so I lost the gig, eventually came back, got the gig again. I remember something on that gig though that was pretty funny because I think Enrique was looking at me like, who is this guy? Like, what's his deal? And I think Van or someone told him like, oh yeah, he plays in this like tribute band. He knows like a million songs. This is what this is in my head what I think Enrique thought about me. I remember playing that gig in Las Vegas, and you were there, and we go out on the C stage, and Enrique brought someone on stage, and he goes, name any song you can think of, and this band knows it. Because I think he was thinking like, oh, I got this new guy that knows every song in the world.
Okay.
And he goes, and he said like some Beatles song, and I didn't know it. And he looked at me, he goes, you know that, right? And I was like, no. And I remember looking at you, and you knew it though, because you were like, oh no, it's like C. I was like, oh, I feel so stupid, dude. That was hilarious. That was
What
hilarious.
song was it?
It was a pretty standard Beatles tune. I can't remember which one though, but I know I'd played it before. It just wasn't there. I was like, my brain was fried.
You probably just should have said yes.
I
And then
should have said yes and just
after
started
it.
playing. Yeah, it was so stupid. But
That's
yeah, so yeah, dude, it
I don't
was
know, I'm
wild.
trying to remember. There were so many C stage antics that it's
No,
like
so I do want to, before we get to the other C stage. When did you get in the Enrique band? Like
Oh,
how'd that happen for you?
I'll tell
'Cause
you
that was
mine. It was wild. Um, I who gave I maybe Barry Squire gave my name to Tony Bruno. It was with
dude,
Tony Bruno
Barry,
played
rest
it.
in peace, Barry.
Yes, God rest his soul. He has
He's
changed a
he's
lot
the
of lives.
he changed a lot of lives.
Changed
That's
my
for
life
sure.
big time.
Yep.
Yeah. Huge, 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 massive impact on my life. And he was
Mhm.
always sweet about it and open and happy to give people opportunities. He never took a cut. Like, everyone always
It's
assumed that he was taking
crazy.
a cut of our money, but he got paid on the other side. So, he
Yeah.
wasn't like, because there's so many of those folks that sort of like, "All right, well, now you gotta pay me 20% of your check because I got you this gig for
Yeah.
your time on," he n just
Sweetest guy.
yeah, the best. Anyway, Tony Bruno got I was suggested to him through someone, I think Barry, maybe someone else. Um, it was during a sort of like Christmas, New Year's window, and I
Mhm.
wasn't back in LA. I went to Michigan to go visit. So I wasn't gonna make it back in time for an audition. I was
Oh.
like, I don't know why I didn't just book a flight. But maybe I had a gig there or something, but I just couldn't get back. And I was like,
Mhm.
so distraught over. I was like, bummer, I don't want to miss this opportunity. Fast
Yeah.
forward a couple weeks later, they'd been trying different bass players, and the bass players were each doing like a show here and there. A couple weeks later, I was playing on the Carson Daly show. They had a house band. Joe
Nice.
Firstman was the music director, and it was just this wild band where we'd come up with stuff. Kamasi used to play in that band. They were like great musicians
Mhm.
that went through that band, and it kind of rotated. So it wasn't like just my gig. There were a lot of bass players that did it and a lot, but we would get little blocks of time where Joe would hire whatever he was doing at the time, like kind of have musicians on for a while. So I came back after this New Year's Christmas trip, came back and was doing that. Well, Enrique was a guest that day,
No way.
and I was thinking, I wonder if he hired someone. So I immediately went up to Tony and said, "Hey, I'm Joe. I'm the one we spoke on the phone." And
So
like,
Tony's he's the guitar player and MD for Enrique at the time,
correct,
yeah.
and was
Yeah.
for a long time
Long time.
yeah, probably what, like 15, 20 years or something before Van.
Yeah.
He hired Van, and like he was, yeah, incredible musician and great band leader. But so anyway, so I meet him for the first time. I'm like, hey, I'm the guy. And luck has it, we're like doing like I think we did a Zeppelin tune that day. We were ripping that day. The
Yeah.
band was on fire, which is like kind of Tony's thing. Like he's a rocker.
Mhm.
So he was literally hearing me play all day. And he had mentioned, and he must have said something to Enrique because he mentioned that we haven't fully hired someone. We're still trying people out. And I was like, great. And then later in the hallway, I met Enrique. Enrique was like, "Oh, you talked to Tony. I heard about you, and I heard that you were come hang with us or whatever." It was like very vague, very Enrique. Like I was like, "What does
Mhm.
that mean? Hang with you? Like audition or what?"
Yeah.
Anyway, at the end of the day, they did their tune, and um, Tony said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "Nothing, I'm free." He goes, "Come do what show?" It may have been like Ellen DeGeneres or because they were doing
Mm.
this is back when you would have a song, have a single, and do all the shows. So
Yeah.
promo tour. They were doing the promo tour, playing on all these shows. It was
Yep.
it was James, not Corden. It was before that. it was one of the late shows. I can't remember the guy's name. It's gonna bug me.
Uh,
Um, anyway,
yeah.
it was either Ellen DeGeneres or a late night show. I don't know. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
remember. Anyway, it was like, come do that tomorrow. Learn this one tune, ping pong song.
Ah, yeah.
Um, and then that'll be like your audition.
Yeah.
So I learned the tune. We went, we did the sound check, the first sound check.
Mhm.
And he goes, they were like, Enrique would like to see you. So like, it was like a Bell, Fernando, like they all Tony, they escorted me.
Dude, so just so everybody knows, the Enrique band, it's kind of like a mini mafia, right? They got their
Oh, yeah,
little crew, and
totally,
it's
yeah.
just these characters that they're always there. They work in their own little insulated group. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. So they all escorted me to his room, and he kind of like looks me up and down in that Enrique way and is like, so, do you like what's going on? Like, did you meet everybody? You like everybody? And I was like, yeah, they're great. Everyone's great, fantastic musicians. I appreciate you having me here. He goes, okay. Do you have a passport? And I was like, yeah, I have an active passport. He goes, okay, cool, you're hired, and gave me a bro hug, and that was it.
Oh, I mean,
Like, what?
that's so exciting, right?
Oh,
You're
I
just
was like, are
uh,
you kidding me? Yeah.
I mean, you knew like as soon as he started asking you the questions, you're like, I think I got this gig,
Yeah,
right?
I was like, this
Yes.
is wild. And then it's funny, I have to add, so immediately Abel's getting all my information and my passport, and he's like, all right, you got to be in New York next week. And luck has it, I was playing with um, Mozella, who's a great singer-songwriter and great. She wrote like tons of hits,
Mhm.
massive hits, but at the time she was doing her artist thing. So her and we were playing in New York the next weekend. I was like, I don't want to like, but it worked out perfectly because they were going to do the Today Show. So I was like,
Nice.
well, I'll already be in New York. This is great. So I go do the gig with Mozella and the next day do the Today Show. And I'm assuming, because nobody told me that we're just doing the ping pong song again.
Oh boy.
It's 4:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Get to the Today Show. And Carlos is like, all right, we're doing these like 3 songs.
Oh.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? I
4:30 in the morning. It's probably cold as shit.
yeah.
Like
No, this is like, I'm thinking because it was the outdoor concert series
Oh,
they
the
did.
big one. Yeah.
And I was like, I only know the ping pong song. So we went, grabbed me an iPod, old school. Grabbed me an iPod and a piece of paper and pencil and said, here you go. You got to learn these ASAP. So I quick charted them out. We played, I remember. And if you can go back and watch it and you can see that I'm looking on the ground because I'm reading my charts.
Dude.
I think we did Badamos and we
Okay.
did, I Love to See You Cry, which is very
Okay.
specific bass line.
Very
Uh,
specific.
I had just learned these like an hour before, freaking out, but I made it through and then
Dude.
like, "Oh, I did it," but what a way to enter into that gig.
Totally.
And
That
anyone
is
who's done that gig knows that there's like, it's its own unique thing, right?
Mhm.
And
It
like you
really
said, there's
is.
a cast of characters and and then from then on, it was just on and he was just
Yeah.
working. And that was like,
Yeah.
it was like nonstop for
Yeah.
years. And
Yep.
that's when it's probably the same for you. Like up until that point, I did some European stuff, but
Mhm.
he was so massive overseas. And
Yeah.
so to go to like play, to, we went to Russia a ton of times. Eastern Europe, tons of Europe, Middle East. Like he was such an international artist that, uh, you know, touring on that international level was such a treat for a at this point, I'm 27, 28 years
Mm-hmm.
old, and we're just going all around the world,
Yeah.
playing all these shows,
It's
um,
wild.
it was wild. It was
His
such a fun time for me in my life.
that
Yeah.
is amazing. Yeah, Enrique's reach is insane. It
Yeah.
just I still I'm always asking when we go to these places, Eastern Europe or Egypt, I'll talk to people and be like, so, like, how big is he to you guys? Like, I'll talk and it's just like, he's massive. It just doesn't I can't comprehend it sometimes because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
like, "Man, half of it's in Spanish, a lot's in English, and then yet you're speaking something totally different." And so, like, where's the connection, It's just he did it, though. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
really crazy.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, and I think that it was also the career path was because I entered at a time where it was coming off of the Latin invasion, so
Mhm.
it felt like that was the peak, and
Yeah.
now he was still massive, but when you come off that level of massive, to be like
Mhm.
Ping Pong Song wasn't like Bailamos or The Rhythm Divine or Hero
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? It wasn't
Yep.
that level. So it was sort of maybe easing into the legacy of it,
Mhm.
but then while I was still there is when, um, the other hits started,
Yeah.
Bailando
Bailando.
and then those
Mhm.
soared. So it went from this sort of, like, evened out a little bit to being, like, and then
Bam.
him getting those offers and bigger offers again and
Yeah.
taking all the private stuff. We did so many weird private gigs of, like, somebody's birthday party or wedding or some real estate agent, opening and it was just like,
Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
my mom always said, "You should keep a journal and write this
Yeah.
down," and I didn't.
Ah,
Guys like you, Alex Vedder's memory is fantastic. He'll be like, "Remember when we were in?" I'm like, "How do you remember the day,
Yeah.
venue, what" you know what I mean? So, it's great having friends that sort of, like,
Yes.
document these
I've
he's
started
really good at that.
yeah. I'm decent at it, but I actually started in about 2023 making a tour log of all the anytime I'm out or anytime I'm playing, I just make little notes. I take a picture and add it to a note and then just describe the day as I'm out. So someday, I don't know, I'll look back. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting,
That's
but
good. That's smart because you want
yeah,
it keeps getting foggier as the further away from it we get, you know?
seriously. Yeah, you just okay, so yeah, you did that gig for a long time. I came in, I got hired, I got fired, I came back. And then there was one gig that I recall with that you were on the gig that was an epic memory that will never go away from me. We played in Gibraltar
Oh,
and
yes. With the
remember when the
monkey.
power with the monkeys
Yeah.
and but what's memorable to me is when our ears went out and we went out and we played Hero with nothing and
Yeah.
I'm the guy that has to play it. And I remember you going, you're like, Sabru played Hero at like 40 BPM because it was so slow.
We did like the
Because
clowning stuff back then.
it was like, because
Right,
we,
with no
we couldn't,
it's like, "Alright, where is this at?"
and it was just we couldn't hear anything, so I was just following our percussionist Jamar, and we was basically rubato. We were just kind of like blah. And there is a video out there somewhere on YouTube, and it's hecka slow, dude. It's like I can be your yeah. So, uh, classic memory. So, moving on. I don't want to take your whole day here. So
No,
after
no, no.
Enrique, I mean, you also play with Shakira too, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, and that
Yeah.
was kinda in between the Enrique stuff. You
Yeah,
started
yeah,
getting
yeah.
into that. Amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
which everyone thinks that's, like, completely related, but it had nothing It's just
Yeah.
random that I met Brendan Buckley, who's the
Yeah.
drummer on the
Yep.
gig. Yep. And he had just called. So, yeah, it was interesting being on those 2 separate gigs, being 2 huge Latin artists, but
Yep.
yeah, totally unrelated. It wasn't like
Yeah.
it
It's
wasn't
not. Yeah.
connected in any way.
all the Latin bands aren't the same.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
funny.
mean, it is kind of funny with Enrique's band because he's one of the biggest Latin artists of all time. But for the most part, his band is just like a bunch of white dudes. Like no one speaks Spanish.
Yeah, or
Like
just or at different times, I mean, it's just sort of like
at
a
different times. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, sometimes it's just like, the UN over there. It's just a bunch of it's the international band or whatever.
It's an international band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
world music band.
It is. I guess the current lineup is slightly eclectic.
Yeah.
So then once you leave Enrique and move on, when did you start with the American Idol? That
That
because
started
man, that is like, and I've made it clear to you, that is like my dream gig of all time. So like landing that to me is insane. That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
same for me. It was like, yes, it was and really that was the beginning of my departure from the Enrique world,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, There's no way I'm not doing this." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that was about 2018. So,
Yep.
we're actually in the middle of a season right now, and it's, this band from when it changed networks, it's our 9th season, which is
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And then for me, getting that gig goes back to my first gig, which was Liz Fair,
Whoa.
which the keyboard player on that gig, Chris Pooley, is the music
Mm-hmm.
director
Yeah.
in Idol. And I think he's another Michigander,
Okay.
so we had that connection. We didn't know each
Yep.
other in Michigan, but we met in LA
Yeah.
soon after I moved. He had been here a little bit longer, like maybe a couple years before me, a year or 2 before me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Extremely talented
Yeah,
guy.
he MDs a lot of stuff. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff, right? Yeah. So.
And I think for that gig, when he got it, because he was Katy Perry's MD,
Mm-hmm.
I think he was thinking like, "Okay, who is probably gonna be reading?" So that immediately sort of eliminates a lot of musicians who,
Yep.
um, don't do that.
Right.
There's probably gonna be some upright and some key bass and some different things, and for whatever reason, I'm so thankful, and he knows it because I tell him all the time that he thought of me that it's something that would be in my wheelhouse.
Well,
So
he probably read your sound better
yeah, well, that's
thing.
probably why.
He said, "Oh man, this guy,
Yeah,
he plays electric, he plays acoustic. This is
yeah,
great."
yeah, he's, sells, whatever T-shirts on the side, whatever's in my bio there.
Yep.
Um, yeah, he was just like, "Would this be something you'd be interested in?" I was just like, "Absolutely. I'll,
Oh my
like,
god.
clear out the schedule for any of
Dude.
this." I would love, like, dream gig for me, 100% dream gig.
Yeah. It makes me feel good that in my mind it's a dream gig. I know nothing about it except what I could imagine. And the fact that you do it and you still say it's your dream gig, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, because it's so
Yeah.
like, we love to be, like the cool part of touring is that you put a lot of work in at the beginning, and you build a show, and you learn it, and you memorize it, and you have all the parts, and then you go out and have fun and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Idle, like, you can never look away. It's
That's
always
cool.
every week, it's always, like, super engaging, you can't go on autopilot ever.
That's that's
You can
awesome. Honestly, that's as much as that's the fun part of touring, I think that's a lot of it. It's a lot of the downfall of touring mentally too, because
Mhm.
that's how where like kind of like depression seeps in. You get a little like when you're on the road and you kind of stop focusing on like really trying that hard on the music part because you're like, I know all these songs. It just becomes the same. And it kind of, I don't know, you can get in kind of dark places when you're just doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
I
true.
think
You don't feel challenged.
for certain people that, could lead to like substances or alcohol and stuff where you're just like, but yeah, if you're just if that knife has to be sharp every day, there's no chance really of that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
So
and
what's like,
it's
yeah.
it's it's tough too because I like artists on that level where it's almost theatrical, right? With the
Mm-hmm.
lights and the symphony and the content and so you have to build these like massive shows that
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of like it's difficult to kind of mix up the music or have the
Yeah.
ability that a band would. So touring
Yeah,
with
you're not just gonna, yeah,
Average,
totally.
I was like the same sort of deal where yes, of course there's certain songs where she plays every night, but every night's a different set list.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a lot of times she'll pick a tune out of her catalog that we'll have to learn that day. And
Yeah.
I remember being there and being like, "Oh, this is like a different."
Wait, who is this? I couldn't hear
Melissa
you.
Etheridge,
Oh, okay, got you.
where it's a it's different than the sort of like modern day big gigantic production thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like really music focused
Yeah.
and that it kind of offers the same sort of thing where you're always rehearsing and trying new things and changing to it's just too
Yeah.
hard to do that when you have 18 trucks building a set that you
Totally.
spent millions of dollars on content for, and they're both, those shows are
Ex-
incredible. They
they
do something different, you know?
Totally. Both of them have huge positives for sure. Like, because being part of that massive show is just, it's insane when you're part of it, looking out, and then when you see like any videos of it, you're like, whoa, like I'm in there somewhere. That's
Yeah,
crazy, right?
yeah,
But then it's really cool to be parts of like very dynamic acts too that, might come out. You might play a song that everybody knows, and they're like, I'm gonna do it kind of slower tonight, and it's just totally different. You're like, oh well, you have to just be present, So I get it. Both
yeah.
are
When I saw the
amazing.
Enrique show years later, probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago now at Crypto. I don't know if it was still the Staples Center, but whatever.
I think it was transitioning to crypto.
Was it transitioning? Okay. And I remember just like I had no idea this is what was going on.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Because you're always on the stage, you don't see it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so incredible that I was just like blown away. And to think that you were up there doing that for a decade and never took in the gravity of it is like
Right.
crazy.
It
Y-
is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
'Cause it feels
Yeah.
way different on stage than it does.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty nuts. Um, so what's like what with Idol? Sorry, I'm fascinated with
No, no,
American
no,
Idol.
please.
What's your like daily routine? Like, okay, today I have Idol. Is it a Monday through Thursday kind of sitch or Monday through Wednesday or?
It's changed. Like two last year we had 2 live shows back to back almost every week, a Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
Monday. So you were preparing so that was crazy intense because you were
Mm-hmm.
preparing 2 shows at the same time and keep flipping back and
Right.
forth between them. It's a little more streamlined now this year because 'cause they're only doing 1, but the process for any given live show and remember it's live, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
It's live
dude.
on TV, so
That
that
shit's nerve-wracking,
it's
and,
nerve-wracking,
like,
yeah,
'cause
definitely is.
I've only done a little bit, like, when I did the Gwen stuff and we did Today's Show and that, like, reverse countdown, right, for, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
it's like, that shit's especially if I'm sure there's many cues where you're starting or you're right on it. It's
Yeah,
like, "Whoo, baby," you know?
intense, yes, very intense, and you almost learn it's not the musical side of it, it is the mental side of it, of how to
Yeah.
sort of, like there's so many things I have taken away from that gig of, like, planning your moves and keeping good notes. I remember
Yeah.
at first I was like, "Oh, I'll remember that." And then if I ever miss something, now I know to just write everything down, write it in a certain way that makes sense to me, that's
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. But to answer your question, it basically is it's in steps. So the first step is the accompanists and the vocal coaches, the contestant coaches will
Mm-hmm.
come up with an arrangement, pick a tune, come up with an arrangement, and then write a chart.
Yep.
What we get first is a chart, a audio recording of the contestants singing to that style, so you can hear the feel, and the original to sort of bounce back and forth between what's the original doing and how is this
Mm-hmm.
different and all that. We get
Yep.
that on our own at home. Like I'm
Nice.
doing that today. After
Cool.
we're done here, that's
Nice.
my today is to go
Gotcha.
through those, make sure I have a good grasp of the original, a good grasp of what the arrangement is for this contestant, and that all my notes on the chart are correct. That
Yep.
I write in. Then we'll do that for the whole episode. So all right now we're at probably 16, 17 tunes. So
Yep.
we'll all sit and do that. Now tomorrow in the morning will be our first band run through. There's no contestants there. It's just the band. And we'll do it as a band for each of those tunes.
Nice.
Lunch break. Then we do it again with the contestant to make sure we're all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
That really that's the time where you're solidifying the arrangement. To saying like, all
Right.
right, that's working, that's not working, all that. Then the next day is when we'll record them, do it again, and so the contestant gets a practice, we get a practice, and it's refining at that point.
Yep.
All right, I'm not sure this isn't working. Let's just fix this one little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Record them. Then the next day, full dress rehearsal of all of those, break, and then the whole show. So it's quick. You got to make your
Dude.
decision. It's fast decision making, really.
Dude, that's so great. Sounds exciting. Yeah.
It's always
That's cool.
exciting. It's never
Yeah.
not exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're
That's
recording them. This is the first year we're recording them, and then every episode they're releasing them, like on Spotify, Apple Music, all the.
interesting.
So it's even quicker. It's a quicker turnaround of what you need to sort of commit to as a part, as
Yeah.
RJ and I as a groove together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. So yeah, all that is.
So the band and the MD, they're just trusting you. They're like, Joe's gonna do something cool that he likes and that I like, and so they're probably not micromanaging you too much. That's why you're there, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
arrangement wise, I mean, Chris is particular for sure.
Yeah.
But he also is very trusting. I mean, he hired
Yeah.
who he hired for a certain reason.
Exactly.
But he has no, I wouldn't say micromanaging, but he definitely, if he has a concept or something that he wants to do,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna let us know in those early stages, and then we're gonna refine it together.
Yep.
So there's no you if he is sort of dissecting your part or wanting a certain thing, it's never insulting. It's just he has
Right.
a vision. So sometimes he will be like, "Yes, I want this," and other times
Yeah.
he won't say a word to you because it's working. You know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
it's
Yep.
so yes. There definitely
That's
is
awesome, dude.
that leadership and trusting that.
Yep.
Um,
Dude, that's awesome. And we're like an hour into this thing. I don't need to take much more of your time. We totally didn't even get into the Kelly Clarkson thing.
oh yeah, dude.
which you
I know
did
you
for
first part.
years.
Yeah,
Which you
that's
did
a
for
whole.
years, right?
I mean, you can edit it down. I can talk a little bit about that if you want.
Well, yeah, what was interesting to me, I didn't know much about the Kelly Clarkson gig, but you were in New York for that, right?
Yeah,
And this was the past couple years you've been doing that.
yeah.
You had been doing. What seemed cool though is you got a lot of screen time for that, right? You would be in skits, like the band would be in skits and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, that
So
stuff's really cool.
so yeah, Joe is on the Kelly Clarkson show as the band, but were you also her band, like when she would play
Yes.
places?
So yeah,
Yeah.
with Move to New York, the gig sort of came with the show, which is great. So we're doing Vegas this
Awesome.
summer. And
Nice.
yeah, she's unbelievable. She's
Dude, everything I watch of her, I'm just like, hell yeah. Like ripping, the band's ripping, and she can just sing her butt off, man. It's so
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the turnaround on that show is the same as a lot of we were doing a song a day. So we had
Mm-hmm.
to prepare them in that same sort of way. Like but in that instance, I'm making the chart, right? I'm getting a cut down, making the
Yep.
chart, bringing in the chart. We're rehearsing as a band, same sort of thing, making decisions, recording it, and then getting ready for it to be plugged in on whatever day it's going to be plugged, and then doing it live with her.
Yeah.
So it it true there's it's just sort of that speed is it was always daunting at first because you want to take your time and really craft a part or do those things, but
Yeah.
you sort of learn how to do that quickly and efficiently, but
Exactly.
still not in a rushed way. In a way
Yeah.
like, all right, what feels good? All right, Lester, what are you playing? Or RJ, what are you playing? I'm referencing the drummers on these shows because
Mm-hmm.
that's who usually I'm married to. And we're
Yep.
coming up with a groove and then deciding, do we just want to do this on that show? It's like, do we just want to do this like the record? Does that make more sense to have Kelly sing it like this? Or is this some unique version that we're doing?
Yeah.
Jason, the music director on that show, Jason Halber, does a lot of times makes those decisions. So sometimes I'll be getting a cut down and it'll be an acoustic guitar and vocal of like a
Yeah.
heavy rock tune and, kind of
Yep.
decide what works and what's unique and what's different and what has she sung before, all that stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. So is that show done for now as far as the
No,
Kelly
it's done
Clarkson
in
show?
June. So this will be the last
Okay.
season. Unfortunately, yes, she
Yeah.
decided to not continue on it. She wants to do some other things, which
Sure.
we all understand, of course.
Yeah.
Love it. It's very sad that it's ending.
Right.
But I'm very thankful for my time in New York and on that show. And so we have mid-June is when it'll finish for us. And then there'll be episodes that air through the summer, but that'll be the
Cool.
the the final date. I think it's like June 11th or somewhere around
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
man. Well, so the rest of your day you're just shedding tunes, yeah?
Happy shedding tunes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Go for a
Well,
little
dude,
hike, take a break in between, have some
yep.
coffee.
Awesome, man. So are you are you going back to going back to New York, or you're still recording in New York, or are those already recorded and they're going to be
Nope, well, I'll
released?
be going back to New York after
Yep.
this. Yeah, I had to step
Nice.
out some while I do Idol.
Gotcha.
So, um, some friends are covering there, and then I'll go back,
Nice.
finish up, and then we'll be done with New York. Yeah.
Killer, man. Well, bro, thank
Wait,
you
wait,
so
wait, wait,
much.
before we
Wait,
go, we didn't talk about your tunes. We'll save it for another.
I mean, I was just gonna slightly jump in there and say we need to make some more tunes. Joe is part of my recent releases that I've done. No,
Awesome.
no
Awesome
lights,
pieces.
ashes, transient. That's under Jeff Subaru. Yeah, dude. I mean, I love you on those songs because it's
Dude, I
just
so appreciate you having me and Randy. It sounds so great on all that stuff. And
someday in a perfect world we'll play them live. We'll see. I would love to. But yeah, I would love to get some more songs to you soon. So we'll see about that. But thanks, man.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right, my
great
dog.
chatting.
Okay, see
All
you,
right, bud.
brother.
See you, bud.
Later.